you have a lot of material options in the door knocking game. You don't want to bring the same thing each time you knock. Your visit number, aka your touch number, will help you decide what to bring. One thing you'll leave every single visit is always a business card. Always make sure you leave it face up. A general rule is that every second touch, add in a new type of material to provide value. We'll go over the various options in this video. When you are planning your materials, think about it this way. How would you feel if you were standing on the other side of the door and somebody knocked? What would matter to you? What package of information would you appreciate? What can an agent offer besides a local listing sheet? I like to get hyper-local with the information I provide to an area. That makes it more valuable to them. It also showcases yourself as the agent in the know. The residents behind those doors will come to trust you as somewhat as an expert, not just as an agent, but on what's happening locally. When you are seen this way by locals, everyone becomes more approachable and the relationship building is easier. The following is a list of main materials you'll want to include in your 7-touch plan. When you're producing your materials, your best investment will always be notepads. Why are notepads the best choice for investment? Longevity. Think about it. How many notepads have you had and still may have or need in your home over these years? They're everywhere, in your junk drawer, on your desk, and probably even in your kitchen. People need and keep notepads, period. You get more mileage out of a notepad in terms of exposure than anything else available to you in your drop-off options. In studies, notepads are shown to be the longest lasting piece of print material in a prospect's home. They're so useful to have on hand, and the notepads live in your prospects' homes forever sometimes. You can also provide notepads as often as every second touch. People never really get tired of getting free notepads. As a bonus, you can write a personalized message to warmer contacts using the top notepad page. That's a pro tip for leveling up your rapport building. There are some important considerations when custom printing and branding your notepads. You really want to think about how you're designing them. You want them to be practical, but also look good. Here are all the things that you need to think about when designing your notepads. For customization, ask yourself, how would you like your notepad to appear? Do you want them to be colorful or black and white? Do you require your notepads to be plain or have a watermark? What's the theme or concept? What contact details need to fit on the notepad? When it comes to size, make sure your contact info doesn't take up too much room. Is there still enough space for writing? Be sure there's room for specific information, such as your brokerage information, your name, and any disclaimers your regulatory board requires. Color customizations. If you are choosing colors, blue is always a great bet. Who do you know who doesn't like blue? Think about it. There are people you know that don't like red or orange or yellow, but blue is a tried and tested and true color for marketing materials that appeals to almost everybody. Pro notepad printing tips. Ask your printing company for a sample and then test your own notepad before printing. I have often ordered designs in quantities of 10,000 plus, only to realize that there's something wrong when they arrive. For example, once there wasn't enough room to write on the pad. One time the Post-it sticker was aligned on the side instead of the top. Check your work carefully. Spending money on poor materials is a pitfall in the game and a bad use of resources. Design work and colors greatly increase your cost. Ask the company for the range and types of available notepads. Stick to just one color plus black and white to keep costs down. In the beginning, design your own notepads and test print them. Stick to something simple that works. Wait until you have more resources in the game to get anything professionally designed. Just because you're keeping it simple doesn't mean you don't want it to look good. You want to stand out with good design. The truth is most people's material is horrible. I don't say that to be judgmental, but the truth is that most people don't put much thought into the materials. And I'm here to give you valuable advice in the game. You want to keep your materials simple and classy. For that, I'll be providing access to Agent Renovation's winning templates. The links will be included in this module's resources. The templates are easy to use and they are designs that are classy, tried, and tested. Now for your notepad, it's time to take some action steps. It's time to actually design your notepad. After this video, use the downloadable guide and check out the Agent Renovation templates. Another important item to work into your materials is your CMA, your comparable market analysis. You don't have to wait for someone to give you their contact information to drop one of these off. Go back to the cues from when you first had a conversation with your prospect. Were you paying attention to their body language? There are times when your prospect tells you with their body and their eyes that they are interested in information, even when they say that they're not. It's best not to push for contact information. You don't want to be overly aggressive and sacrifice the rapport you're building. However, on another visit, you can usually be casual and drop off a CMA. It's like leaving a gift. It's something of value. It's unlikely that they'd be upset about it. Another scenario involves having a great conversation when one partner is in the household. They say they're interested, but they're not comfortable giving out their contact information without first talking to the other partner. This is another good opportunity to bring by a CMA. On another day, simply prepare it and drop it off casually. When you go out of your way and you drop off a CMA without them asking, they won't be upset. And the following will happen. The possible lead will appreciate that you go out of your way and you go above and beyond. They'll think that you're a hard worker, and you might even get a listing appointment because of it. You drop by with a CMA because they were already a warm contact. Now that you've given them a price attached to their home, you might increase their level of interest. You may not have their contact information yet, but you read their level of interest and their reaction to the CMA. It might be enough to turn them into an actual lead. Sometimes knowing the value of their home on paper is the gentle nudge homeowners need to list. Another reason to drop off CMAs is tax season. Offer it as a way for homeowners to verify and check what their tax assessment is and if it's accurate. All you have to say is, would you trust a government computer to give you a correct reflection of your home's value? Or would you rather have a local expert tell you the home's value? There is a couple of times a year that you can work gifts into your door knocking material. A tiny gift is a great way to break the ice at the door. Just make sure you're offering something useful or worthwhile. Consider something like a local artisan honey or jam. When they see it in their home later, they'll connect it to you in their mind. Gifts with local connections are best. They're thoughtful and it shows interest in your community connection. You can also consider giving a calendar with your name and phone number on it in the first few months of the year. Like notepads, people use calendars, and it will keep your name top of mind as they use it. Coupons are one of my main go-to items for handing out. Coupons are a great way to provide value while supporting local businesses. I collaborate with local businesses to create coupons for them. One of my most successful coupons I've handed out is for a free oil tank scan. I collaborated with a local business that offers oil tank removal. Oil tank scans are always free, but people don't realize this. And often they want to know if their property has a tank that might need to be removed. Houses used to be heated with oil. A leaky oil tank can cost about $200,000, and it can be the owner's responsibility to take care of it if it's a problem. If you're about to sell, you want to know about it because you're responsible for getting it removed as the seller. Sellers with homes from 1970s or earlier are quite worried about this. This prompts them to reach out to the oil tank company. And the great thing about this is it also alerts you when someone is thinking about selling. When I find out that somebody has redeemed the tank scan, I know they're thinking about moving. That homeowner then moves to the top of my target list. You can carry out the same approach. An oil tank scan isn't my only coupon, and it wouldn't apply when knocking in newer homes. I produce various coupons for this reason. Another example is a coupon for 10% off at the local pub. This appeals to a lot of people. The pub coupon I hand out gets redeemed the most often. My advice is to go to the local businesses to collaborate with them on your coupons. Your target community would appreciate. It's always good to target places that are more aligned and more local. When you target businesses connected to a specific community's vibe, that is a great way to show that you really understand the neighborhood too. If you farm a family neighborhood, a great example would be to get a coupon for a local children's store in the area. Young families will love this. I pitch local businesses by telling them I'm already dropping the packages off at the homes in their neighborhood. I want to include more value while helping promote local businesses. I tell them that I'm willing to do all of the work and I will deliver the coupons. I will also do the printing and the co-branding coupon design. They just need to be willing to offer something. This works every time I approach a business. I am sure this will work for you too. The only thing you want to avoid is approaching large corporations. This is for two main reasons. They aren't as connected to the community, number one. And secondly, they have a headquarters and layers of approval. At smaller businesses, you'll have direct access to the owner or the decision maker. At bigger companies like corporations, there's barriers in place. It's not good time allocation to go through all of these channels for approval. It's best to stick to small local business. Coupons for large businesses also don't stand out. The coupon would become one of hundreds that people receive every week in all the other flyers they already get. Nothing about the experience makes you memorable to your prospect when they get it. It's better to create unique, small, local coupons. The last point about coupons is that there is a strategy that you can use for your printing budget to keep it low. When you want to save some money, you can sometimes arrange printing costs with the collaborating business. When you are offering your time to hand out these coupons, they may take your time on trade for the cost of printing. You're offering value to the business by getting the coupons out and into the community. In this case, everyone's winning. The business gets more exposure in the community, and so do you. It's time for an action step. Research a local company that might interest your target community. Then approach them about partnering with you for a coupon. You can use the downloadable guide and template to design your first coupon. Also, remember to print off all of this section's resources to get thinking about the materials you're going to create for your door knocking game.